Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my April 2022 TBR. Say it with me everybody, it's TBR time! Yay! I feel like it's been forever since I've done this, but really it's been since like the end of January. It's now of course the end of March, so no TBR. Even though I did have a TBR, I didn't post anything. I'm really trying now to get back into the swing of things of BookTube and putting out videos for you guys because I love doing it and it just makes me super duper happy. So my TBR for the month of April. I discussed this very briefly in my last weekly reads video that my TBRs are actually quite big and I'm not sharing the entire TBR with you guys. I have something like 50 books on this TBR, but I'm not sharing that with all of you. I'm going to be sharing just a part of it with you guys. The rest of the books, you know, if I get to them, I get to them, great. The one thing I've been noticing is that I haven't been listening to a lot of audio lately, but I do own a lot of audio books, like books that I want to read, I own on audio. And I'm like, well, I bought them either with a credit or on sale or what have you, so I do want to get to them. So yeah, I'm trying to incorporate more audio in April. I'm going to be going back to the office a lot more often, so there will be a lot more commuting, a lot more time in the car to listen to audio, which is great. So yeah, so I am looking forward to that. I'm not going to, of course, announce which books are going to be audio, which books are not going to be audio. That's not what I do. But I do want to go through a couple of different sections because, as you guys know, I like to break my TBR down in groupings and sections, if you will. So the first section we're going to be doing is a backlist TBR. So essentially these are all books that are on a backlist that I have bought, or in this case, to be honest, what I've been doing for the last few months, actually of this year, and the one thing I didn't share with you guys, but this backlist has always been backlist NetGalley books. So for the entire year of 2022, I'm trying to really pare down my NetGalley list. So all 12 of these books are NetGalley. You're going to actually see some Christmas books on here, you guys. I read nothing but Christmas books in December, and then I kind of take a break in December or in January, February. March, April is when I start getting back into them, and I will read Christmas books all year long. It does not bother me in the least. So that you are going to see some Christmas books on this list. So the first book for my backlist TBR, I have 12 of them picked here, is A Case of Cat and Mouse by Sophie Kelly. This is the 12th book in the Magical Cats mystery series. I don't own a copy of this in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to borrow it from the library. It's a cozy mystery. It looks super cute. The next one I have is Spring at Saddle Run by the great Dolores Fosun. This is book number 1 in the Last Ride Texas series. I am really looking forward to this one. Cowboy contemporary romance. Yes, please. Then we have Her Hometown Hero by Jacqueline Thomas. This is book 2 in the Polk Island series. This is a Harlequin heartwarming novel. Looking forward to this one. And then we have Waste Not, Want Not in Applewell by Lilac Mills. This is a UK chick lit book, I believe, along the same lines of a Tilly Tennant or a Bella Osborne kind of story. So I really like these books, and I'm very, very much looking forward to reading this one. It looks really cute. Here comes one of the Christmas ones, another UK contemporary romance. This is Christmas in the Scottish Highlands by Donna Ashcroft. Who would not want to spend Christmas in the Scottish Highlands? That sounds delightful. Delightful. We have a Harlequin Presents novel next, The Wedding Night They Never Had by Jackie Asherden. This is the second book in the Greeks Race to the Altar series. Jackie Asherden does such a great job with her Presents novels. I absolutely love them, and I cannot wait to get to this one. Another Harlequin category we have here is Hunted in Connaught County by Rachel Lee. This is, wait for it, Connaught County, The Next Generation, book number 47. 7. How do I do 7? 7. Clearly not a series you need to read in any kind of order, but I am looking forward to getting to this one. Another category, we have The Cowgirl's Secret by Melinda Curtis. This is book 9 in the Mountain Monroes series. I am very, very much looking forward to this one. The next one I have a physical copy of because I borrowed it from my library. Sorry for the camera shaking as I kind of take books from these piles here. So the next one we have here is Mistletoe in Juno. This is by Dahlia. Is it Dahlia Rose? This is a Hallmark book. I mentioned this in my last vlog that I am not someone who watches Hallmark movies, not because I don't like them, but because I just am not a movie watcher. But I am a big fan of their books, so I am looking forward to this one very, very much. I saw this one at the library and I knew it was on my list, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And it looks super, super cute. I cannot wait. It says, this is perfect for fans of Rochelle Allers and Debbie Maycomer, and I love both those authors, so this is going to be fantastic. The next one I have is Earl on the Run by Jane Ashford. This is book number 2 in the Duke's Estates series, a historical romance. Love a good historical. Another historical romance is A Good Duke is Hard to Find by Christina Britton. This is the first book in the Isle of Schnee. I think that's what it is. S-Y-N-N-E. Schnee. No idea what this one's about. Gorgeous cover. These historical romance books always have such beautiful, beautiful covers. Cannot wait to read this one. And then another cowboy contemporary romance, because I love them. A Thorn in the Saddle by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Excuse me. This is the third book in the Cowboys of California series. This one looks really, really good. I have not read this author yet, and I am super, super excited to get to this book. So the next group of books that I have here are NetGalley new releases. So these 6 books all come out in the month of April. So my goal is to get them read this month to review for you guys, so you guys can go ahead and pick them up as well. So the first one I have here is To Marry and Meddle by Martha Waters. This is the 3rd book in the Regency Vows series. I have not read the first 2 yet, but I understand that you can read them separately. They're all separate characters, so I am looking forward to this one. Then we have The Cafe at Marigold Marina by the great Tilly Tennant. You guys know I'm a huge, huge fan of Tilly Tennant's work. I'm really looking forward to this one. It looks super, super cute. The next one is Sunday at Sunflower Inn by the great Jodie Thomas. This is the 4th book in the Honey Creek series. We'll see about this one going into it. So I've read the first book in the Honey Creek series. Now, Jodie Thomas tends to write a certain way where you get like more than one plot happening in each book, and one book may finish a plot, but another one will have started, and that one will actually carry over to the next book. So you kind of need to read her books in order. Now, I was looking at some of the reviews very briefly on Goodreads, and people weren't saying that that was the case with this book. I saw a lot of people who this was like the first one in the series that they were reading and they were fine with it. So we'll see going in. If I start reading it and I'm having troubles because I am lost for parts of the story, I will go back to the beginning of the series and start there and then work my way through. But you guys know, generally, I am not someone who reads series in order, so it's fine. The next one is another Harlequin, and that is Reclaiming the Rancher's Son by Trish Milburn. This, I believe, is also a heartwarming novel. The second book in the Jade Valley, I don't have my glasses on, Jade Valley, Wyoming series. So super, super cute cover on this one. It looks adorable. Then we have Forever on the Bay by the great Lee Tobin McLean, I think. And this is book 6 in the off-season. Now, I have not read any of these books. No, I think I've read one of them. But this is essentially about a small town that is on an island, and part of the year it's the off-season. So they don't get tourists and stuff like that. So, but this is just essentially a small town contemporary. I am very, very much looking forward to this one. I think this one comes out, the order, I didn't write the dates down, but the order that I just mentioned these books are kind of the order of release date. The last couple books all come out like at the very end of April. And the last one I want to mention for this list is A Margin for Murder by Lauren Elliott. And this is another cozy mystery, and it is Beyond the Page Bookstore Mystery, book number 8. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. So the next books that I want to share with you guys, let me just move a few things around here. Sorry. Beep. All right. Is my TBR Bingo. So I announced the numbers on Tuesday about 10 seconds ago. or about 10 minutes ago when I filmed that video, the numbers for the month of April for TBR Bingo. If you're unfamiliar with what TBR Bingo is, I will leave a link in the description box below to the original announcement video. It's really fun, and I know a lot of us are enjoying them. So the two books that I got, the first one is, and I love the cover on this one, you guys, I Hate You More by Lucy Gilmore. Absolutely adorable. I love Lucy Gilmore's writing. I debated on actually buying a copy of this just because I love the cover so much, but my library had a copy, so I just went ahead and grabbed that. I put it on hold and I went and picked it up the other day, so I'm very excited to get to this one. Yeah, the most uplifting, romantic, and heartwarming novel I've read in a long while. That is for the book Puppy Love by her, I guess. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And then the other one is a book that I had, I actually got in the library not that long ago, I think back in the summer, and I never got around to it, but I'm going to read it now. This is a auto by author for me. I'm mad that I haven't gotten to this one yet. I know her new one's coming out soon, and I need to get this one read. And we have Pack Up the Moon by the great Kristen Higgins. So yeah, I am looking forward to this one very, very much. I can't remember. I know the numbers were 2 and 18. I think this was number 2. And I Hate You More was number 18 on my TBR Bingo card. Not that it matters. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to both of those. So I'm just having a look here. Like I said, I don't share everything with you guys. So I'm just going to announce this very quickly. I'm not actually going to show you guys anything. I'm going to save it for the announcement video. But Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books and I are both are co-hosting, Amish in April. Coming up in the month of April. We are so excited. It's going to be towards the tail end of April, but I'm encouraging everyone to read Amish books for the whole month. It's just that any events that we do, any live shows or anything like that, are going to be more towards the end of the month, but I'm encouraging you to read Amish books all month long. I will share one book with you guys because it's going to kind of be like the group read for my channel. If you want to participate in Amish in April and you want to read an Amish book, I decided to pick this one, and like I said, I'm going to show you now so you can go out and pick the book in time, and that is Building Her Amish Dream by Joanne Brown. This came out in March. It's a March 22 release. This is a Harlequin love-inspired book, so this is a faith-based romance. So if that is not your jam, I mean, it's Amish. Amish is going to have faith in it. So if that's not your jam, I don't think you'd be reading an Amish book anyway. But just to let you guys know. And the reason why I picked this one is it's a little bit of a shorter book, so it'll be quite quick and easy to read. But it takes place in Prince Edward Island, Canada. And as a Canadian, I love to highlight anything that takes place in Canada. The author herself is not Canadian, but this is the first in a series. It's an Amish of Prince Edward Island Tales series. So I am very, very excited about this one. So like I said, this is the group read for Amish in April. I wanted to announce it now so you guys had time to go pick up the book. But if either by Kindle or from the Harlequin website or whatever the case may be, but I will mention it again in my Amish in April announcement video. Let me put that book down there. So I'm not going to share any of those other books with you. And the last books I'm going to talk about are book club. So I'm participating in 2 book clubs, if you will. The first one is one that I was asked to be a part of by the lovely Donna Alward. She has a YouTube channel that I will link below. I am actually going to be on that channel discussing this book on April the 12th. So I will announce that beforehand. Again, I'll maybe put something in the community tab here so you guys can go check it out. I believe the channel is called Off the Shelf, and it deals specifically with historical romance novels. And we interviewed her for the Categorically Romance podcast, and she knew that I was a big, big fan of historical romance, or historical fiction, not historical romance. There is a difference, of course. And she knew that I was a big fan of historical fiction and asked me to kind of be on an episode with her and her other co-hosts. So essentially they pick a book to read and then we all sit down and discuss the book. So she asked me to pick the book, and it made me a little bit nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, what book do I pick? And I ended up picking this one, and she was super excited because she said, like, thank you for it not being a World War II, which tends to be most of the historical fiction that most people kind of gravitate towards is happens to be like World War II. So the book that I picked is one that I took out of my library a few months ago, but I never got around to, but I've still been thinking about it and I really want to read it. So we have The Exiles by Christina Baker Klein. So this is a historical fiction book set in, I guess, the 1840s. Hold on, bear with me just a second here, you guys. 1840, okay? So it's about two women who are sentenced to, what's the word? Deportation? I don't know. There's exile? I don't know. From England because they've done something. And they're being like exiled to Australia, essentially. And then the third woman in this story is a native, like an Aboriginal in Australia. So I'm very, very excited about reading this one. I'm really looking forward to it. I love the cover. I mean, it's just so simple. You know what I mean? It's just so good. So I am really looking forward to this one, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with Donna and the other co-hosts on this YouTube channel for this book. So yay on this one. Cannot wait to read it. And then the other book club that I am a part of is, of course, for the Categorically Romance podcast. We started that this year, and every month we kind of pick a theme. That's what the first couple months we were picking specific books, and then we decided to branch out and we did themes. So in the month of March, it wasn't really a theme, it was an author. We picked Heather Graham because it was my birthday, and Heather Graham is like my favorite author ever. So for the month of April, we went with matchmakers. And I looked through my shelves and I found this book, which is a duology. It's a bind up of two books. And it's titled The Littlest Matchmaker. And this is part of the Must Love Dogs series from Harlequin, where they bound up these two books that both deal with matchmaking dogs. So these are the books that I am going to be reading in April for that episode on the podcast. So the two books, I'm going to actually flash the original covers up here. The first book is Diamond in the Rough by Marie Farinella, and it is a Harlequin special edition novel. Looks really, really cute, can't wait. And then the second one is Slow Dance with the Sheriff by Nikki Logan. This is a Harlequin romance novel, so looking forward to that as well. So I do have both of them, and I will read them in this edition here, and I am very, very much looking forward to it. So guys, that's all that I'm going to share with you. I have a lot more books. There's a bunch of stuff piled here that I'm not going to show you. Of course, there's the Amish and April books that I will talk about in that video, but I'm going to save those for then. And yeah, so these are the books that I'd like to get to. As I always say, will I get to all of them? No. Would I like to get to all of them? Yes. We shall see what happens with the month of April. And yeah, so I'm super excited to be back doing regular videos for you guys again. And if you have any questions or comments, tell me what you guys are reading in April. I'd love to know. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.